Deradamalo, your son?
Yeah, we did coach. You can sing it again.
Maybe at the end of the class then. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Any particular one?
7.
Reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute. Text 12. E cha iva satvika bhava rajasas tamasas cha e matta eva iti tan vidhi na tu aham teshu te mayi. I'll just read it once. E chaiva satvika bhava rajasas tamasas chaye matta eveti tan vidhi natvaham teshu te mayi. Another time. E chaiva satvika bhava rajasas tamasas chaye matta eveti tan vidhi natvaham teshu te mayi. Translation. Know that all states of being, be they of ignorance, passion or goodness, are manifested by my energy. Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they on the contrary are within me. Please repeat. Know that all states of being,
Know that all states of being,
be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature. For they, on the contrary, are within me. Purport. All material activities in the world are being conducted under the three modes of material nature. Although these material modes of nature are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna, he is not subject to them. For instance, under the state laws, one may be punished, but the king, the lawmaker, is not subject to that law. Similarly, all modes of material nature, goodness, passion and ignorance, are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna, but Krishna is not subject to material nature. Therefore, he is nirguna, which means that these gunas are modes, although issuing from him, do not affect him. That is one of the special characteristics of Bhagavan, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desetarine Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Abhyam Dadati Swapatantikam Panchakalpatarobe Sakavasya Chastati Nama Bhavarangyo Vaishnaveyo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare. नामना मकारी बहुधा निज सर्व शक्ति तत्रात्का नियमित स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् मम अपि दुर्दैव मिदृशमिहाजन्नानुराग. So, Lord Chaitanya says that although Supreme Lord Krishna is so kind as to make it so easy to approach him by means of chanting his holy names, unfortunately, we don't have attraction. Krishna is making it so easy to approach him by his holy name because his holy name is not different from himself and it is transcendental. Otherwise, we are completely under the spell of the modes of material nature. And the modes of material nature are quite difficult to understand. The original state of matter is called pradhana, and in that, the three modes of material nature are in equilibrium. Even according to, modern science, they accept that all the energy in this universe is coming from the sun. It is accepted. So even if you see electrical energy, it is a modification of sun. Because sun is there, sun is producing water in the form of rain from the ocean. The water is collected and you put that water in coal. Coal is burning, coal also has got its burning because it's dry, and the dryness has got heating capacity. It comes from the sun because the coal is dry. And when the coal is actually firing, this water becomes steam, steam goes into turbine, turbine rotates, then you get electricity, from electricity you get this light. So this light is also originally coming from sun, but by studying this light, you cannot actually know the nature of sunlight. You see, even though it's coming from that. So, the modes of material nature, which are like 24 levels above, they get reflected. They are present all the way through. So, even our activities are actually in the different modes of nature. But, it is not possible to understand from these modes, from these activities, the nature of the actual modes. Exactly like it is not possible to understand sunlight from this electric light. Even though in one sense, they are of the same quality. So, the modes of nature are extraordinarily subtle. Extraordinarily subtle. And we don't even know how from the modes of nature so many elements have come, and these elements are actually creating a situation where we are completely bound. Completely bound. When I was in Vikshu, so I was just reflecting on the point that Krishna is the supreme form, and the material energy is coming from him. You see, repeatedly Krishna says this, Natvaham teshu te mayi, nachaham teshu avastitaha, mastani sarvabhutani nachaham teshu avastitaha. Repeatedly he says in Bhagavad Gita that everything is in me, but I am not in them. Of course, we can give some little examples, little try to understand, but even Brahma is not able to understand where is our position. Prabhupada once wrote a letter saying, even Brahma doesn't know how creation takes place, although he is supposed to be creator. Now where is the question of, the puny efforts of materialistic scientists? What happened?
Just add. Is it okay or if I close?
We have to take majority vote. Maybe right now it's okay. Later on if I want that. It's good. Get fresh air. It's good. So, Prabhupada wrote, and then he wrote that letter to Bhakti-Sarvadama Swami, and then he said, anyway, here is my realization. Even Brahma doesn't understand the structure of the universe. In the material world, there are so many people who control things. We also run, we may do some big festival, Rath Yatra. People may say we organized it, but even the people who are organizing it, temples, and they really don't know how it got done. They have little things. Somebody came at the right moment and did it. And at the end we say, wow, finally we got it done. Krishna is arranging everything. So Brahma is also, simply by thinking he can create so many things. Simply by whatever he thinks, it becomes. Like Krishna, Bhagavatam says, in the matter of creation, Brahma is as good as Krishna because he's been empowered. He's been empowered. But even the Brahma does not know when the creation comes about how it came. Whoa, he's, just like we have Kardama Muni, whose powers were there and things are manifest. But it's very difficult to first of all understand our insignificant position. And then to actually remember Krishna's position, that requires devotion. So in some sense, you see, everything is done by Krishna's energy, and that energy is working under Krishna's will. And our position is very marginal. You see. Just like you have some money and you go to the restaurant and you can order gulab jamun. You get it. But you are not the cause of the gulab jamun being present there. So when we have karma, which Krishna keeps track, we get certain ability to get some bodies, but we are not the cause of these bodies appearing, nor are they working. Everything is, we are insignificant. Prabhupada said the difference between Krishna and us is the difference between the potent and the impotent. We are not capable of doing things. So Krishna and his energies, they have a very intimate relationship. And Krishna always stresses how everything is coming from him, but is different. I gave the example, I think last time I was here, that when I speak and you record my voice, it's my voice, but it's my separated voice. If you play the tape, somebody says, who is speaking? I'll say Rasaraj is speaking, but at that time I may be sleeping. And how is Rasaraj speaking? Because it is my separated voice. This is my own voice. That voice is fixed. It will say the same thing again and again. Here, ever new things can come. But I am different from both. Both my voice and my externalized voice. So Krishna says matter is my separated energy. Spirit is his internal energy. But he is different from both. We can just hear that and repeat. But if you want to realize it, Krishna has to reveal it. So Krishna is very difficult to understand. In fact, it's not possible to understand Krishna. We cannot understand, but we can understand if he reveals. This point cannot be overstressed. It is not, we are hearing, but for that hearing to take place, to become potent hearing, and to Krishna to reveal himself, we have to satisfy by our sincerity, both the bona fide spiritual master and Krishna. Only by that process it will be revealed, not otherwise. This is not something like I push this and it will move. That's a cause and effect. That I do something and Krishna must reveal himself to me. No. Therefore it's called causeless mercy. You see? But it's a characteristic of persons. You see? They act according to their own free will. And Krishna has got supreme free will. So that Krishna is said to be beautiful. Everything is beautiful only because it resembles Krishna. The very notion of beauty in this world comes from it. So that Krishna is so beautiful. And some souls, 1/4 we are told, Ekpat, Buddhi, who are naturally, they are not liking Krishna. That's our nature. So Krishna actually creates using material energy a situation where, although Krishna, that person who is different from all his energies, is everywhere he can be seen. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surayo. Sada Pashyanti Surayo. Sada, all the time. Exactly like one who has got eyesight can all the time see the sun, no matter where he goes. Either he is seeing sun or he is seeing the sunlight. There is no doubt for him. If one is blind, he cannot see. So the devotees, they are all the time seeing Krishna. But we cannot. But although Krishna has used this matter so that we are covered from seeing him, Krishna is never covered. Just like there is sun and I can put my hand here, I won't be able to see the sun. It doesn't mean sun is covered. My eye is covered. So the soul is actually covered by matter, so he cannot see Krishna. But Krishna is always there. And that Krishna, without that Krishna, what is there in matter? Suppose if I gave you, some paper and one box of ink, one bottle of, or 1 gallon of ink, that's not, nobody's going to say it's beautiful. But if somebody takes it and makes a painting, a sunset, something, people say, oh, it's beautiful. So like that, matter by itself is formless, has got no characteristics. And Krishna everywhere is so beautiful that even when matter is covering us, that beauty comes through. Look at the world, it's so beautiful. Just look at the sky, everything, the sun and the moon and the flowers and the earth and the trees, and there's beauty. So imagine Krishna's beauty, so amazing, that even when we are covered by matter, his beauty is, this is Krishna's beauty. A pale reflection of Krishna's beauty. So we should try to think, wow, how beautiful Krishna must be. It is like a very beautiful person who completely covers himself with a black cloth and he still looks beautiful. Is that possible? That is God, that is Krishna. That his beauty shines through in everything. So, this is the point. That therefore he is nirguna, which means that these gunas, although issuing from him, do not affect him. That is one of the special characteristics of Bhagavan. Isn't it? Even the most beautiful woman or the most handsome man in the world, if you just cover them with a black cloth, they will become black. So although this matter is covering Krishna from our perspective, Krishna is not affected by it. How do you know that? It shines through his beauty. Otherwise, how could this matter, which is just completely there, can be so beautiful? Isn't it? Exactly like a gallon of ink has got no color, no beauty, but when it's mixed, it is. So it is the art, the painter's thing, but here it's so it is very difficult to see that. So, but matter by itself is dull, it is dead, and whatever beauty is in it is coming from Krishna. So how are we going to see that? We have to learn to see matter is dead. It has to become colorless and tasteless. Although it is, otherwise we cannot actually turn our face to Krishna. Vishaya Acharya Kave Tucho Hobe Mana. Vishaya Acharya, giving up sense gratification. Kave Tucho Hobe. Tucha means like spit. Nothing, you lost nothing. Tucha means nothing. You can spit at it. So even Yamunacharya says, as soon as now thoughts of sex come in my mind, I spit at it. Vishaya Charya Kabe. When will it actually, when I give up materialism? And when will this whole thing become? And Prabhupada says that one must become completely tired of material existence. To be able to see it. That is there, what Chaitanya also says. Sunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahe nami Ivayitam nimishena chakshusha pravushayitam Sunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahe nami Sunyaitam jagat sarvam. If Krishna is not there, even for a second, then become totally lost. Are we like that? No. In the material world, we all come in front of the deities, we must say, oh, to go. You know, we go. We got things to do. So Krishna is saying that you try to understand that I am completely different from everything. Although everything comes from me, in one sense I am everything. So this is a very unique position of Krishna. And Krishna is trying to tell us. He's trying to tell us. So therefore, what is it said? Machitta madhyata prana bodayantas parasparam. Parasparam means each other. So that's what I was thinking when I was saying Krishna is so beautiful that he's coming because I had a room which was overlooking the lake. Looks like a good view. When I was looking through that, and I said, this is amazing. And somehow Krishna just gave me that little realization. That this beauty, this Krishna is coming. Krishna must be very shy. Because he's trying to conceal his beauty because we don't like him and still this beauty is coming through. As Narayana, Krishna is Aishwarya, full of opulences. Nobody can actually overcome. But as Krishna, in some sense, Supreme Lord is vulnerable. Vulnerable in the sense that he is everything. So where is he going to go from people who don't like him? So everybody exploits him. Exploits him, everybody. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna says that, once it is said, he was thinking, everybody, in one way or other, happy because of enjoying. The karmis, the jnanis, the yogis, the devotees in Vaikuntha, the devotees in Goloka. He says, and it's all as it is, as it should be, very proper, and I'm very happy that everybody is, one way or another, in my company, happy because that's what I want. It's nice. But, and the pure devotees, of course, they are actually taking pleasure by serving me, others in different ways. But Radharani is also serving me and taking pleasure. But only upon seeing that, even I am very attracted, and I'm saying, what is it that she is enjoying out of me that's attracting even my mind? That is not something that we can just understand by our intellectual process. Some transcendental truth is being revealed. That's all. We have to hear it, and one day we will understand it. That's all. It's not that we just hear and then speculate or think or something like that. But we have to simply get happiness by hearing. Vasudeva Kathamrita Ruchi, that's all is required. We cannot understand, and if we try to understand, it'll all be wrong. 100%. No need to doubt it. Just like the parents are there, and somebody goes to the parents and say, oh, I went to see your son or daughter, and they say, oh really? Yeah, they were doing this, doing that. They're very happy hearing that. Like that, the devotee becomes happy hearing about Krishna. That's all. And that happiness is what is really the main thing. It's not like the devotees are trying to analyze and understand Krishna. So that discussion about Krishna such that we become happy, that's a very great situation. And in front of that happiness, nothing can compare. And the learned, great, stalwart devotees in the spiritual sky, they say, compared to the bliss of hearing about Krishna, the bliss of Brahmananda is like just a drop of water that a person who is in a desert gets. What can you do? He's suffering in the desert and somebody comes and says, I've got some water for you. Oh, yeah, please give me. And they just take one rubber, this thing, and they put one drop of water. And you put it, So Kaivalyam Narakayate. So it is said that Brahmananda, which the Mayavad is considered to be so great, is actually considered as Naraka. Hellish. That's not very difficult to understand. What is your name? No.
Vijay.
Huh?
Vijay.
What do you do?
Engineering.
You are a son? What do you do? Engineering. Where?
In India.
Linears.
India.
India?
Yeah.
Come to visit your father.
Yeah.
Good. Which year engineering?
Third year.
Chemical.
Third year.
Which engineering?
Electronics.
So you see, suppose I told you that somebody is willing to give you $10 billion free. And no strings attached. No small print, nothing. Just $10 billion taken. Will you take it? Good money, no strings attached. Just somebody wants to donate to you. It's all legal. Huh?
Yeah.
Yes, you'll take it. But if the same person says, I'll give you $10 billion, but there's a condition that you will have to go to an island where nobody lives and you will never see anybody after this. But you can buy whatever you want and go to the island. Will you take it? No? You understand? In a similar way, if somebody tells you that you can have whatever you want, you can go to a place where you will have everything you want, but Only Krishna will not be there. Will you take it? Most souls will not, and they are in Vaikuntha. Some say, yeah, I'll take it. So you can imagine how sick we are. So we come to the material world. And we are, missing Krishna. We don't even know that. I certainly was never missing Krishna. In our house we were Sri Vaishnavas, every day food was offered. Fine. Every evening we chanted Vishnu Sahasranama. Every day took prasadam and we went to the temple. If the Ekadasi is early morning, we went for darshan, blah blah blah, Vaikuntha Ekadasi. But we didn't know anything about Krishna. None of all of us, we all had it. We didn't miss Krishna. Then we came in touch with Prabhupada. And now, if somebody said, I'll give you this and that, but you should stop chanting. Gil said, that's not possible. No matter what you give me, I'm not going to take it. That's our attachment. That extent we have become attached to Krishna by Prabhupada's mercy. And we have to become more and more attached. So it is generally said that it's very, very rare for a person to become dissatisfied, disenchanted with material nature. And it is even more rare for such a person to get attached to Krishna. Very rare somebody becomes a renunciate. Yogi, sannyasi, they give up completely material existence. Sannyasi means no more material existence. No more forgetting Krishna. Continuous 24 hours. Prabhupada says sannyasi means midnight, you wake him up, immediately he can give a flash on the fresh realization he had just at that moment. Krishna conscious. 24 hours. So, that position can be reached by anybody. That sannyasi is not connected with material situation. Kiva Vipra Kiva Nasi Shudra Kinonai Jai Krishna Tattva Veti Sai Guru. So materially one may be this, that, grastas, but then devotionally he has actually rejected everything in order to be attached to Krishna. He is sannyasi. That Krishna says in the Bhagavad. Such a person is sannyasi, not the person who lights no fire and performs no sacrifice. The Mayavadis have a conception of sannyas that is not the Vaishnava conception of sannyas. So the Vaishnava conception of sannyas is never, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Satatam smastavya, na vismastavya. Both. Just like a student who doesn't go to college and he goes to cinema. These days, of course, that's the least of the problem. But at least when we were in college, too. He didn't go to college and he went to cinema, or he drunk or he did drugs. So you are told you should go to school. That's not enough. You should also stop going to movies or drinking. And suppose you only stop going to movies and drinking, don't go to school. That's also useless. So you should go to school and you should stop that. So it is not only that you should remember Krishna, but you must also, when other remembrances come, reject them. That's the path by which we can actually finally get taste of Krishna. Now when we become Krishna conscious like that, then we can understand what is Krishna saying here. How he is different from all his energies, he is the source of everything, and how I can understand. Any questions or comments? Kurma Prabhu.
I heard that why these other sampradayas don't accept our sampradaya.
What does it mean? Why?
I heard that the other three don't quite. Maybe only Venkat Bhatta, but other than him, they don't accept really our sampradaya.
Yeah. See, there are 4 sampradayas. None of them are active right now. Who cares whether they accept or they don't accept? If at all there is Krishna consciousness, it's only in Lakshya Sannyasis. And let us make sure at least there it is there. Just by taking Lord Chaitanya's name in the parampara, we don't become automatically Krishna conscious. You can go to Harvard and you can also fail. Harvard is Harvard. Even if you are a failed graduate from Harvard, not bad. They'll say, you went to Harvard and you failed. Not bad, still something must be there. Therefore it is a Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Tadvijnanartam eva gurum abhigachet samitpanini Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Shrotriya means you must hear, Brahmanishtam means you must be established. So you must not only go to Harvard, but you must also graduate. So not only we have to come to Lord Chaitanya's parampara, that we must become pure devotees. That's all. Otherwise, what is this other sampradaya, this, that? Okay, maybe 1,000 years ago it made sense, 500 years ago it made sense, when other sampradayas seem to be apparently following. This Madhvacharya came 1,000 years ago, before that Ramanujacharya. That's all. Now it's Lord Chaitanya is established. Things as they were appeared lost. So what I'm saying? So they may say, like for example, for a few hundred years ago, some very learned people said, oh, we cannot accept Gaudiya Sampradaya, Brahma Mantra Gaudiya Sampradaya, Lord Chaitanya Sampradaya, because nobody there has written Bhashya, commentary to Vedanta Sutra. Then Baladev Vidyabhushan was empowered to write that. Okay, and at least they supposed to have known a little bit at that time. Nowadays, what people know, and even if they knew this knowledge of Krishna in his full beauty and all the rasa tattvas in science, who has revealed? Know what I'm saying? So some people may just kind of, like Smarta Brahmana, stick to rules or old arguments. There is no limit to that kind of a thing. You go to somebody in Vrindavan, they'll say, oh, we don't accept Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His initiation was not this and that, and therefore we don't accept. No, let me say that. What are we going to say? That's nothing. If we are very learned, we can suitably respond. Otherwise we say, forget it, who cares? You say what you want. We're going to chant Hare Krishna, we're going to worship Krishna, we're going to distribute Prabhupada's books, period. Otherwise it's very difficult. Everybody has got so many different things. And they will argue, what can we do?
You mentioned in the lecture that modes of nature creates such a certain situation. So does this modes of nature has also connection to the weather? And depending upon the different modes, the different weather takes place. Is it correct? Modes of nature.
No, I said modes of nature is what is it? We don't know. You understand? You know, suppose somebody gives one street name in Beijing. What does it mean to you? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? In India, where are you from?
Bombay.
Bombay. So somebody says Churchgate, you know what it means. But if somebody says in Beijing some street name, it doesn't mean anything. Like that, modes of material nature, what does it mean to you? Nothing. What does it mean to me? Nothing. That's what I was saying. We can't understand. Very subtle. We can't even understand immediate gross matter, what to speak of those things. But we have to hear. We have to hear that even this matter, Krishna knows. Otherwise, how is God? It's not that Krishna only knows about spirit and God, matter, we have to go to Einstein. No, sorry. That's not, we don't accept that. Krishna knows everything. And if at all Einstein knows something, he knows it from Krishna. But he knows a little bit from Krishna. So we got to be very careful if you want to, say that he doesn't know anything, we have to know that we know more than him from Krishna. About that particular thing that he has to do. That's all. So, of course, from the modes of nature, everything comes. The beauty of the rose also comes from the modes of nature. Try to understand that point. It's not that only some bad things are coming from the modes. Everything, the lovely sunset, the fragrance of the rose, the taste of the mango. You follow? Everything is coming from modes of nature. The whole world is made of the modes of nature. Modes of nature are the ingredients of which everything has been made. Now, try to understand that, how the taste of mango is coming from modes of nature. See, otherwise you can always say, oh, rock music is in the mode of ignorance. Cinema music is in the mode of passion. Classical music, Indian classical music is in the mode of goodness. We can say like that. Those are all very superficial. Real modes of nature is from, everything has come from that. From the three modes of nature. Everything. That's why Prabhupada says from 3, combination is 9, 3 into 3, from 3 into 3, 9 comes 27, from 27 comes whatever it is, 81, from 81 comes 243, like that it goes. From the combination of the modes are there, and they combine to form 9 modes, and then 9 into 27. They repeatedly combine, and everything comes. It's a science. Do I know that science? No. But maybe now, after 30 years, I'm very sure that I don't know. That's that much I know. Before I had a little bit illusion that I thought I knew these things. But it's not bad. Good progress. I'm happy. Very difficult. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha. Krishna says. We can also say.
Even by studying Shastras and listening to succession, we cannot know.
Of course we cannot know. What do you think? We study the Shastras because it is about Krishna and we just become happy to hear about Krishna. That's, I told you that. There's no other purpose in studying the Shastra. Anya abhilashita sunyam jnana karmadi anadhritam. No other desire than to please Krishna and uncontaminated by karma and jnana. Anukulyena Krishnana Sivanam Bhakti Uttamam. So there is no question of understanding it. See, if you thought like that, don't think like that. I'm sorry to bring bad news for you, but that's what we realize. Somebody once, one devotee asked, Prabhupada is so difficult to understand 5th canto. I said, the whole reason it is there is so you can understand that you cannot understand. You cannot take a measure of Krishna, impossible. Nothing. That doesn't mean you don't know anything. You will learn. Otherwise, how I am saying, how you are asking questions which you didn't ask before. That's knowledge. Otherwise, how you could ask that question? What about modes of nature? Is it this? Then I am answering. But not only whether even the taste of mango is modes of nature, which perhaps might have been a little surprise for you. So it goes like that. How are we doing? So yeah, that doesn't mean we want to understand Krishna, we think we can understand. That's impossible. Are you following? So by these things, of course, there will be understanding. And what is the difference between that understanding and bhakti? We become pleased. You understand?
Then why does Krishna in 7.3 says 3 or I don't know, in the previous verse, he says, by knowing this, both knowledge phenomenon and uniqueness, nothing shall further shall be remain to know.
But still the purpose is, we are pleased to hear Krishna saying that. That's all. See, there is no limit. What does it mean? What do you mean that does it mean you perfectly understand God? Nobody understands that. Nobody can. Krishna gives a guarantee in Bhagavad Gita, just no one can understand me. I know everybody and I know everything, but no one knows me. That's not possible. But in whatever way you need to know Krishna, you can know. You follow? If you take one small vessel, you can fill it up with ocean water, but you can't empty the ocean. That's not possible. You can become full. You understand? That doesn't mean the ocean has been emptied. So everyone can know Krishna completely. But that doesn't mean Krishna has been exhausted. You follow? Therefore it is described, Ananta Sesh with millions and millions of tongues to eternity is glorifying Krishna. He has not come to an end. That's not a joke. It's not just upachar. No, just a light way of saying. No, it's a fact. He is constantly getting realizations, constantly, new things. We can see in our own life, in your own life. We are everywhere, every time we are understanding new things about Krishna. May not be every second, maybe at least once in 1 month, maybe once a week, maybe once a day, maybe once an hour. For pure devotees, every moment, new things about Krishna. To eternity like that, everybody is learning and nobody can answer. Krishna says, Vishtabhyaham igam krishnam ekam sena sito jagat. By a fraction of my energy, a little bit. The entire trillions and trillions of universes are created. What is your hope for understanding? Krishna said that doesn't mean that, but what about us? We have that. You understand? You go to somebody's house and he says, please treat this as your house. It doesn't mean you can sell it. What nonsense is that? Krishna will say, but we have to understand it properly. You understand? Krishna says, I will tell something by which everything can be known. That also he says can be, not will be. Now, how are you going to understand? We should also think of us, You follow what I'm saying? There is no contradiction. That's why I'm saying this is not some contract that you and Krishna have signed when you read Bhagavad Gita. Why did he say like that? No, I have not understood. Why is Krishna responsible for that? You understand? I'm just saying, that's how I train my own mind. There is no more any desire to understand Krishna. That's been given up. That you realize is infinite. That you realize because you can now go on talking about Krishna as much as you want and you actually know Krishna zero. I have realized that. What is the matter? No matter what is so-called realization. Okay, I got a realization when I was in Vishu. Oh, Krishna is beautiful coming through. So what happened? Have you become purified? Have you become pure devotee? No, then? Now, how to become a pure devotee? That's the secret. Raja Vidya, Raja Bhakti. That is the mercy of the Acharya. We can. Anyways, are you following the overall thing? I'm just giving you overall mood, not a specific detail answer. Just the mood. There is no question of thinking by reading all this, by chanting, by any of these things will become a devotee, pure devotee. We must do all this. Then, when they are pleased, more than Krishna Prabhupada is pleased. That is there. In the Vaishnavacharya songbook, I think Lord Santos Thakur, who says in Navapan Dastam, you please remember, you can do whatever you want. But when Lord Nityananda is pleased, then you will get Lakshati, not otherwise. Yes, it's not upachar, it's real. So for me, that's the essence of spiritual existence. Prabhupada, no, nothing else. The fact is nothing. Prabhupada said in Los Angeles, Prabhupada said from the Vyasas, you catch me in dhoti, you'll go back to Godhead. You catch Krishna